How y'all doing? So, I watched another movie and I gotta talk about it. I'll be as swift as possible. So, the movie, The 13th Floor, I don't remember when it came out, but it's definitely old school. It's about these scientists who discovered a way to basically make the metaverse. The metaverse mixed with the show The Peripheral. If you don't know what The Peripheral is basically the metaverse. You play this game, except you are literally like your whole being is scanned into the game and you can feel and sense and everything. It's basically, excuse me, what they made, the 13th floor. And in this, it showed it wasn't a game, it was just like this technology that they had made. And it showed that not only was this a creation that they made, but the simulated individuals made a simulation. So there was a simulation in a simulation. And the guy who created it originally was actually a simulation, first of all. But he wrote a letter to one of his partners and he was like, hey, I know you're going to come in this game eventually. I know you're going to find your way to this spot. So just know that everything is fake. If you don't believe me, drive past everything, past the dead end signs, past all of that. Just say F it, go through, and you will see what I'm talking about. Now, this guy, he made the simulation to where it was like the 1930s time frame. So the person that he gave the letter to was a bartender. The bartender, who was the latest of the simulations, if you will, decided to be nosy. And when the man walked away, he read the letter. Now, this made him go crazy because he was assuming this is what he's talking about in this world. So he went to go see, and lo and behold, he got to the edge, and all you could see was what is it called? You remember graphing paper in school? Maybe not. I don't know if they do that now. But anyway, it's basically like just lines on lines on lines in the sky all the way down to the ground. And it's just blackness with these green grid lines, basically. It was the end of the game. It was the end of the simulation. Nobody was supposed to go past there because, for the most part, people stay in the area that they were created in. So really, though, the guy was actually the original man who wrote the letter was trying to tell his partner, who was in the time frame that he was in, that their time frame was a simulation. So not only was the simulation area where the bartender was, the simulation area was of the creators. Now the creators, hopefully you got to watch the movie if this not making sense, because trust me, I'm explaining it perfectly. But the creators of the actual simulation, the original, the OG came in. Now, the OG guy killed the man who wrote the letter, and he framed the person who the letter was written for. Matter of fact, he didn't frame him. He used his body because that was his sim. That was the person that he usually would go into the simulated world as. They were just partners at this time. So, long story short, there was another character who was a female. She ended up saying that she was the daughter of the old dude, even though nobody knew about her. Like, she wasn't mentioned, whatever case. Basically, it showed that simulations, regardless of if you are playing them or not, like, it's basically like a dream. Like, you just pop in and you just in this middle of the scene. Like, it's like, oh shoot, okay, I'm at the bank right now, let me finish with this transaction. Or, oh shoot, I'm in the middle of shopping. Or, oh wait, I'm driving right now. Like, it's that type of thing. They came back the OGs, the male and the female, they came back into their simulation to try to get everything straight and shut it down, because they were like, the simulation was not supposed to make a simulation in the simulation. We didn't think y'all was gonna get that smart, so we was trying to shut it down. The male, who was simulated, the OG male was simulated into the let me think. This is so, I really need you guys to watch this movie. The original creator of the game, the male, went into the simulated version. His wife, also, who was pretending to be the daughter, she went in. She fell in love with the simulated version of her husband. Her husband knew that. Her husband used the game to do his little killing sprees. Like, he was just like, well, I can't do this in real life, so I'm just get in the game and kill people. Not understanding that once you have created this creation feels, regardless of if you think it does or not, it does. So, because he became like the sinister person in the real world, she ended up being able to get him, her true husband, killed in the game, meaning that his alternate ego, the simulated version of him, the nicer version of him, was able to come back to life with her. I know, it's a whole, you really need to watch this movie, for real. Like, it's amazing, and it just makes me think, like, this seems like it's a simulation. Like, this whole world seems like it's a simulation. And I say that because there have been times, kind of like in the Matrix, where, be your most healthy self, where you get deja vu, you get glitches, you get like little repeats of the timeline. You may matter of fact, literally everyone, I don't care what race, ethnicity, place of birth, whatever, everybody has just been in that time frame where they're just staring into space, and they're just staring, and then you be like, you good, what you thinking about? And they'll come back and they're like, huh, what? Oh, wait, what happened? Nothing. I ain't think about nothing. You sure? You was out for like 30 seconds. I wasn't thinking about nothing. Maybe, just maybe, that was you being, I don't want to say connected to, but, you know, kind of like, who is it? You know what I mean? But you guys really, really, really need to watch the movie The 13th Floor, because the metaverse, the linkages, like, I know I talked about the Spider-Verse, and it's just the early 90s and the early 2000s, or late 90s, early 2000s. Yep, that's what I'm trying to think. They was talking about it, but people was probably like, just like the Matrix, like, oh, this is such a cool movie, this is so amazing, like, this isn't real life. They got to show you the truth. They have to. It's just what they call universal law. The truth has to be revealed in some way, period. Now, if people believe the truth or not is on them, but as long as you reveal the truth, that's what it is. But I see that there's one person watching. Hello, person, how are you? Thank you for listening to me. Hopefully, like, this made sense. If not, I understand. Look at this. Hold on. Nah, look. Same truck. Look. Why? Simulation. Anyway, I know people drive the same cars all the time. What do you mean? Look. You see that white car right there? My mother drives that car. Not in that color, but I've seen that car more in the past year than I have since I've known that she had that car. Why is everyone getting this car? Or what is the message that she's trying to send me, right? I don't know. But anyway, I digress. We were supposed to be talking about the 13th floor. We have talked about the 13th floor. I'm going to keep telling you about these movies that I am watching and learning from. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Check it out for real.